got to do what's best for your school. That's what AD of Colorado, Rick George, said to Brian Howell, the beat writer of Buffzone. Welcome to emergency episode 221 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash that like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time because this is an emergency episode. 221. Holy smokes, the Buffzone by Brian Howell. Conference realignment in college athletics continues to be a hot topic, and Colorado has been at the center of some recent reports. Early this week, Barry Trammell, the Oklahoman, reported that Colorado could commit to rejoining the Big 12 soon, according to one of his sources. And here comes the money shot, the PATC money shot of this article. Colorado may or may not be ready to make the jump, but AD Rick George said the Buffs are going to do what's best for the school. The Colorado's going to be doing what's best for the school. These words, these phrases are starting to change over time. Back to the article. You got to believe about a third of what you see out there, George told the Buffzone. I wonder if PATC is in that 1/3, or we are in the other 2/3. Are we a part of that 50% or disinformation? Anyways, we're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. In a perfect world, we love to be in the Pac-12, but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. We'll evaluate things as we move forward. Rick George, the AD of Colorado. We've got to see where our media right deal lands. I don't know if you can wait for the whole time, Rick George. I do not know if you can extend this much longer. We'll see. And then Rick George says, in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12. Everybody has said that. No question. Colorado would like to play with the peers. In a perfect world, the world has changed. It keeps changing. And the AD, Rick George, has woken up. And he says, we have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. Now, back to the article. It certainly hasn't been a perfect world for the Pac-12. About 11 months ago, UCLA, USC announced they would be leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten in 2024, taking the second largest TV market in the country away from the Pac-12. And finally, the Pac-12's current media rights deal expires next summer. The conference is currently working on a new deal. Those negotiations have taken much longer than expected. However, holy smokes, they are. The longer the conference goes without a deal, the more antsy schools, including Colorado, could be to look at other options. Colorado has been looking at another option for months. Serious negotiations recently. For now, the Buffs are still in the Pac-12, but this summer will be big for the future of the conference in Colorado. If you've been following us here at Peek Around the Corner, we have PATC, College Football Theater. We're into Act 11. Act 12, we believe, begins around June 1st. It should be an action scene. Right now in Act 11, Colorado remains in the center of the stage with George Kliavkoff on one side, Brett Yormark on the other side. Arizona was on the edge of the stage in Act 10. They've taken a few steps in the middle. Heading towards the middle of the stage here in Act 11. In the front row is Oregon and Washington. In between them is Fox Executive. Oregon and Washington spending a lot of time on their phones. About 3 rows back from the edge, from the back of the PATC theater, sits UConn with a notebook, taking lots of notes. In the foyer, no, right outside the foyer, right outside the front foyer stands Arizona State. They're looking in the windows. They're looking in the door, the clear door, and the windows next to it. And down the street is Utah. They're taking a few steps towards the theater, not quite sure what to do. And behind them is UNLV, and they've got this chain link. We'll get into that later. Anyways, that's where we are here in Act 11. Act 12, starting about June 1st. So stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner. Subscribe to our channel. get on the Flug Empire Twitter. We can give you a heads up of when the next live show or the next emergency episode is going to pop. So stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner. Yes, in a perfect world, in a world that existed before, supposedly, Colorado would love to stay in the Pac-12, remain with their peers, remain with the large research universities on the Pacific Coast. We've been through all that. We've seen all the graphs. We've seen all the spreadsheets. They're beautiful, but they do not count for the change in landscape of college sports. Colorado, big decision ahead. In a perfect world, yeah, Pac-12, but it's not a perfect world. And the Pac-12, can they get a meteorite deal done? 10 months of this. 10 months of this, and I don't think Colorado's going to see anything real for quite a while for the Pac-12. Do they have the time? Does Brett Yormark have the patience? Brett Yormark now has a lot of leverage. His leverage only increases as he patiently, however, starting to consistently tighten the screws on this situation. Put down your comments and thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I got it all wrong once again. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.